Hi and welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how you can plan out corridor missions inside of UgCS. So without further ado, let's get started. In general, in UgCS, there are two types of corridor missions that you can plan. Number one is corridor mapping. So these will be your general photogrammetry/mapping missions that you can do. And number two will be LiDAR corridor missions. And in this video, I'll try to cover both of them. So here we are already inside of UgCS. And now to create a new route, let's click here on this Create New Route button. Now in this window, you can see we have two options. We can either create the route from scratch or we can import it from a file. Now for corridor missions in general, if you have a KML file already ready to go, for example, with powerline tower locations or something similar, then you can select this import from file option, and here you can import your KML file. But in this case, to get started, I will simply use this create from scratch option. Now let's click on next, and as the drone for this tutorial, I will be choosing the M400 drone. And now here you can see UgCS does ask us, so what route type do we want to do? So for this example, let's maybe start out with a simple photogrammetry corridor. And you can see that now actually this corridor mapping tool is already selected. Now, here on the map, you can see, so this is actually a power line corridor that goes through this area here. So now to get started, I can simply add some initial points for the corridor. So to do that, I will simply hold down the Shift button, and now I can click to add these points. Okay, and now these are the initial points for our corridor mission, and I can simply hit the Enter key to complete. One important thing for UgCS is that also you can have multiple different corridor segments in the same route. So you can choose how you want to distribute it. In some cases, you might want the drone to fly in a single line and then split the line where you will be changing the batteries. Or in some situations, you might want to have the drone fly towards the end of the corridor and then return back to you again. And now it is very likely that on the first corridor that you plan out, if the corridor length will exceed 2.5 kilometers, then UgCS will prompt you to change the fence radius. Now here you can either split the corridor in shorter segments, or if you do want the drone to fly further than that, then in this message you can select this change fence radius, and then you can enter the new value for your fence radius, and then this will allow you to fly further. Okay, now let's zoom in, and now let's take a look at what we have here. So you can see in these settings, so what parameters we have so far. Firstly, we have the camera. So in the corridor mapping segment, obviously this will be the camera with which you will be taking the pictures. Next, we have the flight height. In this case, it's 50 meters. We also have the flight speed. For corridors, you probably want to fly a bit faster simply because you have to cover quite a lot of distance. So here I will now enter 10 meters. Next, we have the width of the corridor. And so the width, of course, you want to have as wide as the corridor itself is. But what's important here is that the width parameter also controls how many lines are in the corridor. So for example, now you can see with the width of 40 meters, and so width is this part right here, that you can see we have two lines here. But if we want to, for example, have only one line in this corridor, then we can change this width, slightly decrease it. And so now, for example, you can see with 30-meter width of the corridor, we will only have one line. So the width parameter is the one that you will play around with if you want to change the number of lines in the corridor. Next, we have the forward and the side overlaps. So these, of course, are the overlaps for the images. Again, this is the photogrammetry or mapping corridor. So the standard values here are 80 and 70, but feel free to switch them around if you need to. Next, we have the turn type. So I'll be using adaptive bank turn. That's what we always recommend for DJI drones. And then last but not least, we have the altitude mode, which currently is set to AGL. And so here in the Actions tab, you can see we have two actions. We have the Set Camera Attitude, which sets the camera 90 degrees downwards, and we have the Set Camera by Distance, which of course will make sure that the camera is triggered a certain number of meters or certain distance. If you want to understand how many photos, for example, will the drone take during this mission, this can be found in the route log. And so the route log can be accessed if you go here to this green checkbox, click on it, and then you will see this window right here. So in here, you will see the total length of the central line, the total area, of course, all the images that you will take during this mission, flight height, as well as here for the camera triggering, you will see how many shots in total will be taken. In this case, you can see it's 2,600 shots every 5 meters. And that's, of course, because in this case, this corridor is indeed quite long. We can now also go ahead and open up the elevation profile. So this is how it looks like here. And then here, of course, also you can see the total length of this corridor, which is 14 kilometers in this case. So now this is the very start. And so from here, we can do various other things with our corridor missions. So there will be some situations where you will want to fly the full corridor like you see here, and there will be some other situations where you might want to split the corridor into some smaller parts. And now I'll try to show you a few examples of how can you do that. So one is that you can split the corridor by these approximating points. So for example, here you can see I now have selected the third approximating point of this corridor. And to split it, you can just right-click on this point and you can select split. So now what you will see will happen is that UgCS will create two separate corridor missions. So now actually you can see that as we zoom out, we can select either part of this corridor. So now our initial route is already split in two. And for example, if you now wanted to start from this point, I'll also show you how you can do that. So for this second corridor, you can actually see that already it does start from here. So this is the first point of this second corridor. But how do we do it for the first corridor? So in general, there are two options. Either in some situations, you might want to have the drone take off, start flying, and then you can follow the drone with a car. Or if you simply want to start out from this location and then have the drone return back, what you need to do is you simply need to add one waypoint before the corridor. So I'll just be now using this add first waypoint tool. I'll add it in here. And now you will see once the corridor is recalculated that now this first point will be here. So we'll have waypoint number one, waypoint number two, and the drone proceeds on the corridor. And next is that simply on the corridor itself, we can also now change this width parameter. So let's again maybe increase this to 40 meters. And now you can see that the drone will fly through the corridor and it will return back again. And now this is just one way how you can split these corridor missions. So once you go to this point, then you can fly one corridor in one direction and another corridor in the other direction. And now I want to show to you another method which you can utilize when flying corridor missions with UgCS. And now let's take as an example the second corridor mission. There might be some situations where you might want to fly a branch off from the corridor and then return back on the main corridor. So how do you do that? So I'll now show you one way of how you can also configure the route like so. So now with this corridor mission selected, let's say maybe I want to fly in this direction and cover this part as well. So how do I do that? So firstly, now let's click here on these three dots and then let's click on this option, convert to waypoints. Now, any route in UgCS can be converted into waypoints. And this is important because then you can select any point of this route. You can see now I have selected waypoint number 9. And actually now I can add any other segment in between waypoints 9 and 10, which is exactly what we are going to do. So now with waypoint 9 selected, I can go here again to corridor mapping, and I can simply now add it here on the map. So again, I'll just do my shift click. I'll add this corridor right here. I'll set the width to 40 meters. Speed, let's again set to 10 so that the drone flies there and back again. And now you can see what happens is that this route starts from here. So from this point where we split the previous corridors, the drone will fly until this intersection point. Then it branches off into another corridor, then returns back and then proceeds on the original one. So it's just one way what you can do if you want to split this. And now kind of going maybe a bit further, if you wanted to then again split this same route by the segment, you can also do that. So for example, now you can see I have waypoint number, actually let's maybe move just a bit further before this next part. So let's maybe say you want to fly this new waypoint corridor until, for example, let's find a nice place where to change our battery. Let's maybe say until here, until this point. So this for us is waypoint number 18. So what we can do, I can again go here to these options, and there's the option split. And here I can select manual, so to split by an exact distance, and I can specify segment number 18. Now I can select split, and so now what will happen is that UgCS will split this route from this segment number 18. And now once this is done, we can click here on this arrow down, and you can see there's now 2 new routes created here. And now, for example, if I trigger this visibility on, you can see that this route now goes until this point. So now this waypoint 18 is the last point of this corridor. So we can also rename it. So I can just click here and, for example, add corridor 2, part 1. And now, again, let me use this drop-down menu. And so, for example, here, what I can do, I can now find the second part of this. I can also trigger the visibility on and off. And I can also now rename this, for example, corridor 2, part 2. And so this is just one very simple way how you can split the corridor. So in this example, I showed you various ways how you can manipulate with corridor missions and what can you do. But now all of this is also applicable to LiDAR corridors. And so now I'll also show you how you can plan out LiDAR corridor missions. But keep in mind that the mechanics themselves and how you split the corridor missions, these will be the same for mapping corridors and for LiDAR corridor. So all right, now again, I'll create a new corridor. So I'll just select create from scratch, click on next. I'll have again the M400 drone. And now as the route type, I will select the LiDAR and I'll select the corridor. And so now exactly the same as before, I can simply hold down the shift button and I can add these corridor approximating points here on the map. You can see that now we're getting a message that if we want the colorized point cloud, we also need to select the camera option and add camera trigger by distance. That's for DJI LiDARs. So then I'll quickly, once this corridor is done, I'll quickly go through some of the basic parameters and what is different. So firstly, we have the field of view angle. This is the field of view angle for the LiDAR sensor that you are using. Next, we have the flight height, flight speed, of course. This we can slightly increase. Width parameter, same as for the normal photogrammetry corridor. So this is simply set to change the number of lines in the corridor. And so here, for example, you can see that with a width of 100, now I have 2 lines for this LiDAR corridor. And LiDAR corridors very often are used for inspecting roads, planning construction, inspecting power lines. So these are the typical applications. Now, next is the line spacing. Here you can either choose the overlap or the side distance. So UgCS does support all LiDAR sensors on the market that you can mount on a drone. If you're using a DJI LiDAR like the L2 or L3, then this you need to select here under camera. But if you're using some other LiDAR such as Yellowscan, Regal, or Rock Robotics, so these LiDARs typically they will operate independently of the drone system. So then you don't need to add this camera parameter over here. Now, next we have the forward overlap. Again, this is specifically for the camera. So only if you have a camera selected, that's when you need to adjust this value. One specific for LiDAR corridors is that you will want to add IMU calibration if your LiDAR requires it. But the good news is this is very simple to do. If you're using a DJI LiDAR, you simply need to make sure that this IMU calibration checkbox is enabled. And you will see these blue calibration segments at the beginning and the end of the corridor. And if you have some longer flight lines, you will also see them in the middle like so. For example, in both of these locations. So for DJI LiDARs, another important thing is that when you're using either the L1, L2, or L3, here under Actions, make sure to also add Set Camera by Distance or Set Camera by Time. In this case, I'll simply add the Set Camera by Distance, and this will ensure that you will get a colorized point cloud at the end. Now, if you're using some other LiDAR system, for example, Yellowscan LiDAR, then you will need to add separate LiDAR calibration segments. To do this, firstly, make sure to disable this IMU calibration. And next, select the appropriate LiDAR calibration segment. We have 2 of them. We have the U pattern and the figure 8 pattern. So now with this selected, we can go here to the beginning of the corridor and we can move this LiDAR calibration action here to the very beginning. If you also want to have the calibration at the very end, so after the drone is finished, then you can select again this LiDAR corridor, again select the calibration action and add it in here as well. So now we have calibration, corridor, and the calibration at the end. But yeah, that's it for today's video. So I hope it was useful. Today I showed you how you can plan out both mapping corridors and LiDAR corridors and how you can operate with them, add different segments to them, split them, and so on. Make sure to subscribe for more drone-related content and see you in the next one.